Hi y'all, Grum here. The Pokeball Plus, released in 2018, is probably one of the weirdest Switch controllers. Second weirdest controller. But before we get to that, let's go back to 2016, when Pokemon Go was taking the world by storm.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
What a fucking
Dragonite!
Now this next clip is real footage from the Nintendo headquarters.
How do we make even more money off of Pokémon Go? I know we make a main game with similar mechanics and we each in of are we going to do it in can't because we have each in of team made a game in that region in 5 minutes.
Sir, a little girl just named her dog Pikachu.
Little girl get ready for a lawsuit.
And that's how Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu came to be, and the Pokeball Plus as well. Now what can this thing actually do? Well, first and foremost, it's a controller, which has a whopping 2 buttons. And a joystick. So you sadly won't hit any cliffs in Fortnite. Due to the limited amount of buttons, they had to get a bit creative, so the button layout works like this. The A button is mapped to pressing down the joystick. The Y button is triggered by shaking the controller, and both the X and B buttons are assigned to the top button of the controller. The only negative thing I have to say about this layout is that the A button is a bit clunky and quite uncomfortable to use in the long run. Oh yeah, did I mention this game only works with the Let's Go games, not even other Pokemon games? That just leaves us with a couple of questions like, is it comfortable? Not really. As somebody with slightly larger hands, I have a hard time holding it comfortably. When I use a controller, I don't want to really notice that I'm actually using a controller. Even when holding it the intended way, it still doesn't feel quite right. If anything, it feels more like a fidget toy than a controller. But of course, it isn't easy to make a controller that's effectively just a circle. But don't forget the fun gimmick of using the motion controls to mimic throwing a ball, which is pretty neat, but after a while it gets a bit old. Now I don't think I'm the target demographic for this controller, but I do think a kid would have a blast with it. In my opinion, the pros really don't outweigh the cons.
Objection!
Grum, you fucking idiot! You forgot about the Pokestroll feature, the other fun and integral mechanic of the little goofy ball. This is the mechanic that lets you totally not look like a fucking loser and instead makes you super cool and swag. Oh, you wanna know what this absolutely awesome and sugoi feature does? I'm glad you asked. This feature lets you take your Pokemon out for a stroll, which means to take your Pokemon from the game and put it into the Pokeball Plus, and walk around with it outside to gain levels and items. Isn't that just fucking rad? But wait, that's not all. There's also a bonus feature you forgot about, the free homunculus, that you can get once, not with every save file. Isn't that just cool and so limited? If you connect the Pokeball Plus to Pokemon Go, you can essentially play Pokemon Go on the ball. I'll link a video in the description that goes more in detail if you want to watch that. You can do things like catch Pokemon, and if you have a Pokemon out for a stroll, it will automatically spin Pokestops. So, in conclusion, it's not bad, but kinda mid. But wait, before you leave, I have 2 more things. If this video gets 25 likes, I'll livestream all of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee with the Pokeball Plus over at my Twitch. And if you want to be really cool, like 205 other people, consider subscribing. And if you have any feedback, please put it in the comments, it really means the world. Thanks.